see an advert rolling, so I'm timing myself here. Of course, you guys can probably skip the ad, and I'm playing the drum. Two ads? Give me a freaking break. There we go. Hey there, friendlies. Welcome to the Bevies Blades on Bushcraft live stream for the, what is it, the 9th of July, where we got bevies, we got blades, and we will, in fact, discuss some bushcraft-related things. To wit, tonight, I want us to build, conceptually, a 72-hour bag together. I know that I said that I was going to do some research and, put together or come up with ideas for a 72-hour bag. I did some reading, took some notes. I have a whole bunch of websites. I accidentally closed half of them, so I had to refine them. But I mean, I figure that's what we're going to talk about in the dark half of the, well, not half, but later after the beginning. Do we got a reading tonight? Here it is. It is from chapter 9 of When All Hell Breaks Loose. Is that actually showing up on screen? I'm just going to check my focus. Boom. When All Hell Breaks Loose by Cody Lundin. It's chapter 9, which is, let me just find it. Chapter 9. Okay, that's chapter 11. I had it bookmarked. Defining your urban survival priorities. So that's what the reading is going to be about tonight. But before we get to the show, I'd just like to do the usual housekeeping, where I say if you're watching us, time shifted to tomorrow, or next week, or next month, or next year, sometime in the future, after the fact. I love knowing that you're out there, that you're interacting with the content, that you sometimes leave some commentations down below the doobly-doo. I really like that. It makes you feel all warm and fuzzy that you're doing that, even though it's too late for you to participate in the side chat. If at any point tonight you really love this conversation, then I invite you to drop me a smiley thumb. If at any point tonight you really kind of hate the conversation, that's okay. The frowny thumb works just as well. And if you'd like to take a more active role in supporting the channel and keeping the lights on around here, then I invite you to check out the join button. Click on that. Well, right click on that and open it in a new tab, and you'll see that there are 2 tiers of membership available to you for your hard-earned money, as well as info on what each tier gets you. And now we got news. What's happening lately in the world? First is kind of of course, and kind of a party pooper. Look, Canada and the U.S. both had their national holidays last week, and the week before that, Quebec had its Fête Nationale, also known as Saint-Jean-Baptiste. Lots of barbecues, lots of tunes, lots of concerts, lots of happy faces, and lots of fireworks. Well, a recent piece by the BBC posits that those fireworks aren't great for us. And they're not talking about the usual injuries and Darwin Awards. What they're talking about is fine particulate matter in the air. It turns out that matter lowers air quality in many of the cities on these three weekends in a row, actually, and contributes to a gamut of health problems. So, yay. Those of us, I no longer do, but those who have dogs tend to not be as into fireworks as other people as well, because it can really not help our furred friends. But anyways, that's just your downer for the week. Second, and this is kind of cool, a team of wreck hunters on a Royal Geographic Society of Canada expedition have located Ernest Shackleton's final ship off the coast of Newfoundland. Shackleton himself died of a heart attack on board the ship in 1922 while en route to the Atlantic. The ship itself was fine all the way up until 1962. It had a fairly long career, but it did sink off the coast of Newfoundland in 1962. But they found it, and apparently it's like it's upright and it's in really good condition. So I'm excited to hear more about that as time goes on. So that's really cool. I'm a follower of the Royal Geographical Society. I follow their podcast. I pay membership dues. I get the magazine, and I'm excited about what they do. Links for both of these stories are in the show notes below. Just a short one, short news this time. So who's hanging with me tonight? Before we get on with the rest of the show, we're going to see who's hanging, and I'm going to pour the beverage of the night. Le Castor Brewing Company. Thought Russell would find this funny. It's an oatmeal stout. It's an organic. Whoops, that's the French side. It's an organic beer. 5% alcohol by volume, so it's straight up and typical Canadian beer. And it is made organic ingredients: water, malted barley, roasted barley, flaked oats, hops, and yeast. Full-bodied and malty, this stout will win you over with its flavors of dark chocolate and coffee. Its smooth texture is courtesy of the flaked oats. This beer goes great with your favorite comfort food. And the pairings are ragout, which is, I guess, what's ragout in English? Stew? Is it stew? Beef, chocolate, and like saucisson, dried sausage, like salami, stuff like that. Okay, I'm not making this up. That's what those are. And it is from microbrasserie Le Castor, which is in Rigaud, Quebec. So just across the river from Oka. None of you probably know anyway. Well, maybe David Evans will. Let's give it a little pour, shall we? I love how like half my face is hidden and it's still focusing on me. I'm trying to show the damn pour, damn it. One drop, goosh right into my keyboard. Because, hey, didn't get my keyboard gooshed up enough last time, eh? I cleaned the hell out of this entire desk between last week's live stream and this one. I'm being very careful not to inadvertently tap a key that's going to kick me offline or anything. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, chocolatey, coffee-like. I have a message here, and it's from... David, can I show this picture? Tell me if I can show this picture. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's see who's hanging with me, who we got here, and then we will get on to the reading, and then the reading leads directly into tonight's subject. Oof, so many people. Okay, Peanut Trucker at like 8:28. Didn't make the truck show. Yeah, I'm sorry to see that, man. I'm home, headed to the airport to pick up the wife. We'll be listening in. All right. It'll be nice to have you listening, even if you can't be commenting because you're driving. Yeah, I was really sad to see that you couldn't, that your entire vacation was screwed over. That sucks, dude. I hate it when stuff like that happens. You plan for something, you're looking forward to it, and it doesn't happen. Oh, bugs me. Mark Davidson in the house. At 8:43, Serge said he should be here at showtime. He thinks. Russell thought that the 72-hour bag live stream was going to be a 72-hour live stream. Nope. The day job will not allow that to happen. Could you imagine a 72-hour live stream? Holy crap. Hey there, David. How's it going? We got Tenenbaum in the house. I'm not surprised to see you here. I think this is the kind of subject matter that you will have some interesting stuff to say about. Was that grammatically good? Whatevs. Okay, people saying hi. Oh, there's Destiny. How you doing? Saying, oops, I clicked on the wrong Destiny comment. Where is our Kristen tonight? I didn't. She'll be here, right? We got Canadian in the house. How's it going? We got Country Boy. All the friends are here. Country Boy is a channel hero. Of course, David Evans is also a channel hero. They're actually both channel mods as well. So please be nice if you don't want to feel the cold steel of the hammer. Tang. Peanut Trucker, also a channel mod. So I mean, we got some level-headed guys here. So if anyone gets out of rack, we'll just done. Everyone's saying hi to each other, so I'm going to skip across that so that we cannot get really late, as is my want. Country Boy says to Destiny, I'm always here. I have no life outside of 2 jobs. I'm sorry to see that. So then at 9 o'clock, ads. Yes, I can't just sort of like tap, 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 and then hit the skip button, right? The way some of you guys can. So anyway. Destiny is there in time for the drums. Obviously, judging by Tenenbaum's comment, the sound was fine. Marcus in the house. Nice to see you, Marcus. The man, the legend, that awesome drummer. I love it. Grace in the house as well, saying hi. Let me just skip past all the highs and hellos. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anyone. A lot of people just saying hi. Oh, Canadian keeps his bag in the truck all the time. Call mine an emergency need to get home bag. So you get a get home bag rather than a. Okay. Wait, Destiny, how'd you sprain your toes? Scott in the house. How's it going? How's it going, Scott? We're going to talk about a 72-hour bag after I do the reading tonight. It's so good to have an episode where I had time to set up news and a reading again. It's great. Does mean I went to bed a little late last night, though. Destiny says, John Denver should have written a song called Halliburton Highlands. I love it. Give a break now. They're going to go after fireworks. You heard about the Shackleton ship. Nice. Nice. Hey. Carol's in the house. How you doing? Carol is a channel hero. I would like to point out, judging by that little icon next to her name. Boom. Yeah. Oh, Tenenbaum knows Rigo and Oka. Okay. So there. Fair enough. Yeah, but you know everything, so I'm not surprised about that. Yeah, Country. I kind of feel it should have some more head on it too. Like it's a little flat, and I didn't buy it that long ago, so I'm like, meh. Destiny says 72-hour bag, money, coins, and bills. Yeah. Yes, I can show it. Okay. I'm just hiding names. But look at that. Look at that happy bunch of. Wait. Let's drop the screen. There we go. That's better. Look at that. Come on. Look at them friends. I'm really glad you guys got to hang out some. I would have loved to have been there for that. You guys talk about lanterns the whole time? Yeah, it's a Beaver Book and Bushcraft live tonight. Nice one, Destiny. I love it. Hike with Mike in the house. How's it going? Destiny says 72-hour bag, warm clothes, and something to keep cool in high temperatures. Mosquito repellent. Mosquito repellent is important, man, especially if you're in an area. I think I told you guys about a year ago that suddenly there were all these billboards in Quebec saying, was it Virus du Nil est en ville, which is the the West Nile virus is in town, with this big picture of a mosquito on it. So yeah, repel those skeeters, for God's sakes. Dixie Wrecked, hi, how you doing? I do not know if I've seen your name before. Welcome to the stream. Sean in Alaska in the house. Oh, right. Yeah, Christy's on a cruise. I knew that, and in fact, I've even seen the shorts that they've been posting, short videos that they've been posting, or they posted one or two. Okay, I'm scooting down to the bottom here, just making sure I'm not missing anyone so that we can. Hey, good. Mike says, got to stop using aloha. Everyone thinks I'm from Hawaii. Well, yeah. Yeah, that was a great pic of them. Loved it. Canadians swore off spending a cent in Quebec 30 years ago, and I kept my word. Well, I mean, I spent a lot of money here. I don't really. I try not to spend my money in large companies. What? Pam made a rhubarb cake? Oh no, has Pam made a rhubarb cake yet? Man, I love rhubarb. We were driving back from Ontario and the ATM machines all of a sudden stopped working. Thank goodness for cash, otherwise there would be no gas to continue. Scared the crap out of me. Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, good. Mike says, I love Alaska. Most beautiful place I've visited. Got my first credit card, flew to Alaska until I ran out of money. Well worth it. Yikes. Oh, you missed the picture of peanut sugar. I'll show it again. I will show it one more time. There we go. Love it. So I'm going to do the reading, and then we'll... oh, you had a bad separatist experience, and I said, no. Yeah, well, your generation was full of that stuff, right? Mine is not. My generation is almost all like, well, in Montreal, not out in the région, but in Montreal. Virtually everyone I know is like an Anglo, a Franco, and two perfectly bilingual kids. I sort of see the two solitudes thing as like a boomer thing, my mom's generation, you know, as most of us do. Maybe we should mandate mastering fireworks to help with filtering the particulates instead of they weren't talking about canceling fireworks. I mean, I don't really care either way about fireworks. I mean, I like watching them, but I don't I don't require them. So the reading is going to be quite short. It's just going to be the beginning of this chapter. How many of you guys know Cody? No, we'll talk about that later. Define it. Okay, so it's blah, blah. Hey, whatever. Chapter 9, defining your urban survival priorities. Marcus Aurelius says, always bear this in mind, that very little indeed is necessary for living a happy life. What one wants is not always what one needs. The effects of modern civilization and the luxuries it offers intoxicates the senses and makes the task of deciding what your family needs difficult. It's virtually impossible to focus on what is required, as the mind is pulled this way and that with the pure overstimulation of Madison Avenue and all the crap they say you must purchase to become a fulfilled and happy human being. After all, the easiest way to sell your wares is to appeal to a potential customer's fear, ego, or ignorance. As mentioned earlier in this book, our town, to its credit, has several town meetings regarding the Y2K crisis. Shows you how old this book is. I attended every meeting that I could, fascinated with the public display of disaster preparation and human drama. The majority of these town meetings consisted of a panel of several individuals. Each person represented a key element of what most people thought was important if the grid went down. There was the guy from the power company, one from the water department and sanitation treatment plant, a communications person, a representative from one of the local grocery stores, a couple of people I've since forgotten, and a financial planner. After each gave their monologues, the real fun began, and the panel was open for questions from the fidgety, sweaty audience. In all the town meetings I attended, more than 85% of the questions were directed toward the financial planner. To hell with food, water, having a safe place to take a dump so the kids don't die of dysentery, or finding out if Aunt Mabel's dead in Duluth, Minnesota, as long as our investments are safe. Silly, silly people. At the very least, if your investments are on paper, you'll have something extra to wipe your butt with. Enjoy. How many of you guys know who Cody Lundin is? I think there's a picture. Yeah, there's a picture of him on the back. I mean, if you pick up a patchouli stink off this guy, I don't really disagree with you. He's not my favorite of the survivalists, but he does know what he's talking about. I just sort of thought that this little part of the chapter was apropos because I sort of see, like everyone wants their kid to go to university, right? Get a skill, something marketable. But I was like, man, I would almost rather that my kids went into trade school. We're going into an uncertain world. I'm not a doomsday prepper. I'm not like waiting for the end to come so I can lock and load. But at this point, you have to acknowledge the fact that there may be a massive depression in the near future. There may be a recession. There may be natural disasters that take the grid down, that wreck the water supply, that knock out communications. And if everything goes down long term, I would trade you 10 marketing experts for one electrician or one plumber or one carpenter. Do you know what I'm saying? I would trade 12 former CEOs for a blacksmith. I think that we're sending our kids through university because of a time-honored philosophy that may not hold water anymore. There are a lot of very educated people who can't hold down a job because nobody's paying teachers what it costs to survive. Nobody's paying journalists what it takes to survive. Nobody's paying poets, that's for sure. Nobody's paying, like the entire sort of layer that the liberal arts give us. Nobody's paying those anymore. It's all freaking MBAs who will like bankrupt a company as CEO, but walk away with a massive bonus. Or it's the trades, And it sounds like I'm not talking about the same thing that Cody Lundin is, but I am. The same, because he's talking about going to all these meetings where people are like, make sure my investments are safe. I'm like, dude, if everything goes to hell long term, your investments are nothing. Your investments are nothing. But I hope to hell you have a garden. Do you know what I'm saying? And so that it's a philosophy you can bring to your 72-hour bag. Now, here's the thing. Weeks ago, we decided that I should do one of these episodes on the 72-hour bag. In researching 72-hour bags, I took a couple of really scratchy notes, and I bookmarked a lot of web pages. Okay, like first off, if you look up, we're going with 72 hours because the vast majority of shite hit the fan events that aren't like end of the world will take you off the grid for like 72 hours. Sometimes it's longer. I mean, but at least in Quebec, if the hydro goes down for longer than 3 days, like if it's down for a week or something, you're still getting services. because it's not the whole province kind of thing. And if it is like most of the province, like back in 98, excuse me, that beer, man. We have army reserves that are extremely good at disaster relief, but the philosophy is you may have to hold your own for 3 days until help arrives. I'm not saying anything new here. That's the philosophy in Ottawa, Vancouver, Calgary, Washington, New York, right? So I looked up 72-hour bag, and the first thing that was really thrown in my Jesse face is if you Google 72-hour bag, not everything you get is a real 72-hour bag. There's a lot of like disaster preparedness bags, right? There's like first aid, fire starting, signaling. Where's the food? Right? Like a first aid kit is not a 72-hour bag. A fire kit is not a 72-hour bag. They can both be part of a 72-hour bag, but there's a lot of stuff marketed, and the 72-hour element is really food, water, meds, pet food. Like blankets, yes. You need to have some money in small denominations, because in case the ATMs are not working. And by the way, when I was younger, we said bank machines and Americans said ATMs. I don't know when we started saying ATMs, but we do now. That's besides the point. Excuse me. Hold on. I just want to make sure that I'm not ignoring anyone. I'm just gonna Canadian. I refuse to bless the province with my presence or money. I mean, that's your freedom. It's a free country. We have a charter of rights and freedoms, and your right to not come here and spend your money is one of yours. But I could show you some really good pubs here in Montreal. I'm just saying. Fireworks were canceled. Okay, were they canceled in your city for fire hazard though? Because in recent years, fireworks have been canceled in certain areas up here for because the place was like a match waiting to go up. Tenenbaum knows everything mostly from Dual Survival. Okay. Oh, okay. You know him from Dual Survival, but you have several of his books as well. Tenenbaum, I'd love to know what your opinion on him is. Like, I have solid opinions on most of the pop culture survivalists. That sounds more derogatory than I mean to sound, but you know what I'm saying. But him, I don't really know if I can't quite really come down on one side or the other from him. I told you, like, I do get a patchouli stink off of him. I think he's the barefoot guy, but he still knows what he's talking about. And so I'm never I'm not sure. I don't feel comfortable writing him off, and I don't feel comfortable like buying all his books. And I don't know if I'm even being fair. Oh, as Dixie says, he's a guy who walks barefoot. Exactly. Yeah. Country Boy's week has already sucked, and it's only Tuesday. Smoking hot out here and throwing lumber around is killing me. It's smoking hot here too, man. I am even sitting here in my cool troll cave. Pike Mike says, I used to walk barefoot in the swamps of Florida until I saw an alligator snapping turtle. That thing can take off a foot. Since then, hiking boots. Okay. Canadian heading back to the cabin for a little fine tuning on Friday. Yeah, look at that. It looks fabulous. Up. Who's got an advert playing right now? Serge says, meanwhile, how many of you have hit the thumbs up? That's an interesting question, Serge. Mike says, trade schools are making a comeback in my area. We need tradesmen. We do. We absolutely do. Peanut Sugar was the first one to throw a thumbs up. Russell, Dixie's talking about Cody Lundin. Cody Lundin walks barefoot. Yeah. I thumbed up Sash. Yikes, Destiny. Come on, he's not Ray. Oh, I see. That sounds wrong. I thumbed up for the video, Sash. Canadian says it's better to have the ability to survive 3 weeks. I see Country Boy and I went to the exact same place. Shawnee, am I staying in my house with the 72-hour bag? Okay, that's an interesting question, and I do want to talk about that because I have a bunch of sites. And like one of them is the city of Calgary, and they're not talking about a 72-hour bag. They're talking about having a 72-hour supply, right? And from the way I read it, they're expecting you to hunker down, which in many disaster scenarios is the smartest thing to do, right? You hunker down. The reserves will know you're there, and because they're going to come through the neighborhood picking people up. Whereas if the power grid is down, it's my glory time. I'm throw on your camo bag, lock and load, and head out into the urban jungle. It's like there's virtually no scenario. I didn't say there is no scenario, but there are very few scenarios where throwing your bag on your back and marching out to kick some ass is the right thing to do. But it's also really smart to have a get home bag. It's smart to have your 72-hour bag for several reasons. A, if you buy a pre-made one, which we'll talk about, they come in backpacks. B, everything is in one tight little thing. Everything isn't in one tight little thing. The non-food elements are in one little pack or larger pack, depending on how many people you bought for. So it's easy to store, easy to grab, and easy to grab and go if you really need to. Because at the end of the day, it's easy for me to say 98% of the time you just got to hunker down. But I live in a part of town that's kind of up a hill, so I don't really have to worry about a massive flood taking my house away or a hurricane taking my house away, right? So I have to acknowledge that everything I say comes from my philosophy, living in a place that gets earthquakes all the time, but they're like I don't even wake up, right? It's not an earthquake prone area. It's not a flood. Yes, there's flooding when there's a wicked storm. Like we've had some crazy flooding, but in my neighborhood, we're on an incline, so my house is not going to get flooded away. He said while looking for wood to tap. Tornado hasn't chewed through Montreal in my memory. We've had like micro, what are they called? Microcells, whatever. And like when something knocks down all the trees, but a lot of the stuff that would chase you from your home doesn't happen in my area a lot. Okay. So, I mean, everything I say, you have to realize that that's the point of view I'm coming from, and I will try to come from other points of view, but I don't live those points of view. So it's not natural for me to think, well, if my house is washed away, because the concept is foreign to me. I'm just trying to get to, Shawnee makes a good point. 72-hour bag for a vehicle versus 72-hour bag for home. Elements of the bag will be the same, right? Other elements will not be. What? Scott says fireworks were canceled at the lakefront this year because they ran out of money to have them. Oh, that sucks. Tenenbaum says he's not my favorite. I do like that he writes for the average man, which, yeah, I agree with you on. That's a good point. I do like that he gives a non-military perspective, which is also very legit, because yeah, that is rare in the survival world. Yeah, I do love the fact that he's not former SAS or former Marine Corps or any of that crap, because he does come at it from a more honest, common sense approach than the steeped in military ideology approach. So I agree with you on that. Shawnee says, if we're talking no vehicle, no home, 72-hour bag needs to help keep me fed, build shelter, stay warm or cool and hydrated and hygienic, I suppose. Yep. Yep. And that's the thing. I find his balancing out all the positives you've said. I do feel that he's a little too patchouli for me, a little too paisley, you know? Hey, there's creative redundancy. I haven't seen you in a minute. Oh, I love this. Russell says, tonight my fireworks are fireflies. Yeah. Yeah, it was about 30 here today. Canadian says it was hot as 2 squirrels boinking in a wool sock in July. That is crazy. Our city has gone water pipe replacement happy after what happened in Calgary. We have pipes older than this yet. So, well, what happened in Calgary is embarrassing. That's the kind of thing you would read about Montreal, right? And like, my Albertan friends are always talking about how, in Calgary we do everything better. So when but I'm not schadenfreudiing that though, because that is terrible. That's a mid-sized Canadian city. I was going to say that's a major Canadian city, but it's a mid-sized Canadian city, right? That should never be allowed to happen. Serge says, I don't have a 72-hour bag since I'm already where I want to be. I tend to have enough food for a few days longer during the winter if I lose power, since I can store my frozen food elsewhere. Well, and there's the thing. Like, I want to get to these actual bags. Hold on a second. Hey, look who's here. How's it going, Dave? But so here's the thing. I looked at several bags you can buy. And then I started sort of looking on Amazon, looking at Canadian Outdoor Equipment Co-op to sort of start piecing out, building an equivalent bag. But I thought, why don't we do that together? Because not everyone here is going to have the same philosophy. So I just want to show, like, yeah, the biggest thing I saw is that 72-hour bags are very heavy on the emergency preparedness, but not so much on the having 72 hours of food for 4 people, right? So here, the Canadian Red Cross, I have the Canadian Red Cross and I have the American Red Cross here. Okay, I'm just going to share these and we'll, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anyone here. Okay. You need first aid no matter what, but you need first aid that you know how to use, right? And I feel that, hold on. Okay. Yeah, Shawnee, I think we're going to compare some bags, okay? First off, here's what the Canadian Red Cross says to get an emergency kit. Let me get my water bottle out of the way so I can see the screen, right? It breaks it down into essential items, right, which is water. Now, for water, I've seen 1 liter per person per day. I've seen 2 liters per person per day. And I've seen 1 liter per person plus 1 liter per person for hygiene per day. And that makes sense to me, because I mean, you can't just stop brushing your teeth or like just taking care of yourself because the world's going to hell for like a week or two. Um, non-perishable food, like these essentials seem to be universal no matter where I look, right? You need water, you need non-perishable food. Some are like, yeah, get all this canned stuff. Some are like, buy a 72-hour mountain house kit kind of thing. Manual can opener, if this includes cans. When I was conceptualizing a 72-hour kit, to me, I think space is of the essence. So if I'm gonna have some canned stuff, then that little, what's that tiny can opener? It has like a U.S. Army number associated with it. You know, a tiny one that's sort of like opens and closes. It doesn't really open and close, but it's got a hinge on it. I've got one. I've got 3 because they came in a pack of 3. Who knows what that little can opener is called? I think it was U.S. Army back in the Second World War or something. P38? Yes, that's it. P38. So that's the can opener I would have. It says here, masks and hand sanitizer. That's not due to COVID. That's due to all kinds of crazy stuff that may be in the air, maybe on everything you touch, right? This is not a recent thing. Even before the plague hit, we had a few masks. You know, we had not hand sanitizer. That's new in our household, but we had like nitrile gloves kind of thing, right? Because you do need to, if you're in the kind of situation where you cannot get to a doctor, then you absolutely need to err on the side of caution in terms of hygiene. If you cut yourself, if you scrape yourself, if you get a sliver, especially if it's like a metal shaving or something, right? Like you have to go overboard on stuff like masks, cleanliness, gloves, antiseptic, Schosbinosh, whatever they're called, you know. They have special needs such as medication, baby needs extra glasses as part of their essentials. Most places, aside from the Canadian Red Cross, seem to have that as a separate category. But I'm sorry, I'm just adjusting my seating here. But like even the Canadian and American Red Cross, like this page doesn't match, you know. So it's not like one unified Red Cross approach. Important documents can be very important, especially if they're trying to get order again, and so suddenly they need to see ID and stuff. Also, you don't want to lose, you know, I lost my birth certificate in the hurricane of 79. Okay, but now it's gone, right? You need your birth certificate for a whole lot of things. The next thing is very important, and not everyone talks about this. You need an emergency plan, right? If something happens while your eldest daughter is at school and you're at work and your wife is at work or your husband is at work, does your family have a plan for where to meet, where to go if everything goes to hell? Mine doesn't, but we don't have a 72-hour bag either, right? Like, and the Canadian Red Cross is not doomsday preppers. The city of Calgary is not doomsday preppers. Tenenbaum, there's no way the government of Sweden doesn't have something like that. The government of Canada has something like this too. Flashlight, right? With extra batteries. Also a radio. Yeah, okay, they've got the radio. First aid kit, extra cash, personal hygiene, pet food and pet medication, cell phone with extra charger or battery pack, right? So there's a checklist which you can download. This is the American Red Cross. Okay, they say water 1 gallon per person per day. I don't know what a gallon is. 3 days supply for evacuation, 2 weeks supply for home. again, okay, so what they're saying, 70, okay, they're saying a 72-hour kit or a 2-week supply. Very similar things, but they add like a multi-tool, which makes perfect sense to me. You need some kind of tools, absolutely. Family and emergency contact information, just in case, emergency blanket and maps of the area. And then like that's where your medical supplies are, baby supplies, games and activities for children, right? Just because the world ends for a week or two, right? Because like we're not dealing with the end of days. We're dealing with a hurricane has come through, beating the crap out of your society, and you're just waiting for help to come. Kids are going to get bored. Kids get bored while camping. Kids get bored while sitting around on Saturday afternoon. They're going to get bored. So yeah. Two-way radios, right? We have two-way radios. We didn't buy them for, the end of days. We bought them for hiking with, but we do have them, again, N95 or surgical masks, matches, rain gear, towels, right? Work gloves. This is all stuff that the other one doesn't say, but liquid bleach, probably for disinfecting stuff. I just want to hold on. I just want to just go and make sure that Creative Redundancy says, I love it. I have a Swiss Army knife for cans if need be. Yeah, that works too. In fact, that's probably better, right? Because then you've got your can opener and your multi-tool in one device. So you're saving space there. If you get hurt and go to emergency, you may need a 72-hour bag. Do they make left-handed P38s? I do not know. Don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. The Canadian Red Cross one doesn't have a map, but it's important. Like, yeah, a muster point, absolutely. David Evans, what about something for self-defense in case there's total anarchy? If you're trained, but for reasons I won't go into here, I know that people who aren't adequately trained and who have a boomstick, have a self-defense thing, statistically run a huge risk of being taken out by their own device. So, something you're comfortable using. Oh, I just realized that I need to switch the screen. I'm not showing the American Red Cross screen because I was just clicking through. Hold on. Let me do this one more time. I'm looking for this is the American Red Cross one. Sorry, folks. Right. So you got your basic stuff here. Then this is where the games and activities for children, pet supplies, two-way radios, manual can opener, whistle, mask, matches, of course, tools and supplies for securing your home, plastic sheeting, duct tape, scissors, household liquid, bleach. I mean, this is starting to sound like you're doing the professional or something, right? You're taking out baddies and dissolving them in your bathtub. Entertainment items, sleeping bags, Hold on, I'm getting this. Red Cross is asking to know my location. Shut up, Red Cross. So what does that look like if you just want to buy a kit from the Red Cross? Well, is this Canadian or American? There's the Canadian Red Cross. Emergency preparedness, yeah. So, what they've got is a deluxe disaster preparedness kit. Okay. So what this includes, this is for one person, it's $219. If I was to do a 4-person, because I'm a 4-person family, $342. So we got, hold on, let's just read the description. The Deluxe Disaster Preparedness Kit is built to give you all the tools you'll need and more during emergencies and natural disasters. Contains a comprehensive list of, let's just see the list. Waterproof matches, multifunction flashlight / radio, which is nice. It's nice to have both of those in one. A 40-hour candle, multifunction tool, SOS sign, water container. Whether you're talking about a preparedness kit or just a camping kit, you need a container, just a pot or something, anything. One water, a whistle, nitrile tipped work gloves, one roll of duct tape, high visibility vest, personal first aid kit, including stuff. Hold on. Jerry's messaging me. I just want to see what he's saying. Oh, he's sending me the Government of Canada's Emergency Preparedness Guide. So like Mylar sleeping bag, what that is, that's your emergency sleeping bag. It's not a big, use it once or use it for 3 days and you throw it away. You got biohazard waste bags, you got a glow stick, dust masks, one 3,600 calorie food ration. Oh, no, wait. I'm doing the 4-person kit. So it's 4 of everything. So 36 calorie food rations. That's pretty good, actually. 20 hand, like we got toothbrush swabs. I mean, there's a lot of stuff there. Hold on. Tenenbaum says, have you seen our In Case of War or Crisis brochure? Yes, I saw it in English. But yeah, it's a good document, I find. Put out by a government that is fundamentally aware of where it sits in the world. Yep. And Jerry, Government of Canada has had a 72-hour plan website for years. Yep, absolutely. They've had nothing I'm talking about here is new. What's new is that everything is so much of the stuff is sold out at the Red Cross. So what I don't know is whether a 4-person kit comes, like, it's a lot to fit into one backpack, right? But I don't know. I just don't know. And like, look, this kit comes with like, that multi-tool is practically a dollar store multi-tool, like not everything that comes in these kits is high-end stuff. Apparently David needs an anarchy bag. I don't know what. 3.75 liters to a gallon. Hey, Big Green Moose, how's it going? Yeah, put a deck of cards in your bag. Lots of uses. Oh, I had a deck of cards right here. Something else that you might want. A knot tying kit, so you can practice your bushcraft skills while you're trying not to get bored. Look for a video on that coming out soon. Shawnee says, Homa travel case, first aid kit filled with 16 homeopathic medicines could be a start. And the creams would be a separate container. Destiny says, if the inflatable canoe wasn't too heavy, I guess that's Sean James's daughter Emily used, I'd consider it too in a survival bag of sorts. If the bridges are out, that could be very useful. David says, that's for a US gallon. An imperial gallon is 4.54 liters. That website's American though, so it's probably talking about it's funny because an American pint is smaller than an imperial pint as well. I remember back when I was working at an Irish pub, we got in a shipment of Guinness pint glasses, but they were the American ones, so we could not legally use them because pints are priced at an imperial pint size rather than an American pint size. Right? Like, it looks like it's the oh yeah, that's the flyer that Tenenbaum was telling me about. If anyone's interested, right click on that and open it in another tab. Homie in the house. Sorry, I'm late. Knife, saw, axe. That's what you want in your get home. I buy solid mini chlorine tabs that last far longer than bottled bleach. Okay, that's yeah, because you can use bleach for purifying water too. Brother, love. It depends on what you plan to do with your 72 hours, static or nomadic. There's no toilet paper in this kit. Is there? Like, you're not going to use you don't want to use up your antiseptic wipes for that. There's no toilet paper in this kit. And there's no food. There isn't 72 hours worth of rations in this kit either. And I want to talk about that. Hold on, I'm just sort of I just want to sort of Serge says, I think no one here should buy a kit. Most people have at least a few things and everyone's needs are different. The best is to complete what you're missing from a list. Now, and Canadian built his own emergency bag for sure. Hold on. Yeah, a lot of people are loving the build your own. Sounds best. So the question I have though, David, everyone should have dehydrated water in their 72-hour bag just to have water. There's Ian. Nice to see you. So here's the thing. So that's their deluxe disaster preparedness kit. Okay. Now they also have a basic disaster preparedness kit, which is like $100 less. For 4 people. I'm going for 4 people because a lot of us have families, right? And so in this basic one, it's just emergency blankets, water purification tablets, biohazard waste bags, 10-hour glow sticks, 2 utility sheets, 8 dust masks, and 4 3,600 calorie food rations. So, I mean, the fact that these kits do come with like rations, I don't know what these rations are, but at least it's something. Because here's the thing. If you're, sitting on your roof for 72 hours waiting for, official help to swing by in a boat or a helicopter, you're not turning your nose up at rations and saying, this is not the filet mignon that I'm used to. You're eating what you need to eat to survive, But like a lot of the kits available seem to not really go into the rations, but like you can buy rations at like not rations, but you can buy like an emergency kit at Costco now, right? And it's got, hold on, I'm gonna share the screen, the Costco screen. The rations in these kits tend to be the rations in these kits tend to be like not granola bars, but like kind of like a protein bar. Right, so this is a very basic kit, and of course it's made up of stuff by Colin's or Woods or whatever those those brands are. So this is a 4-person deluxe 72-hour kit for $300. So what you got here is this big enough? Can you guys see? Doesn't matter because I can't make it go bigger anyway. So you got 24 water sachets, right? Okay, these are hand warmers. Those are probably your water sachets. Pre-portioned. U.S., Canadian, and European Coast Guard approved for 5 years. Who cares? 50 aqua tabs, water purification tablets. Okay. Food, 18 pre-wrapped, pre-portioned sections of. Okay, so it's got 4 3,600 calorie food bars. It's got a light. Well, it's got light sticks. Survival candle, which is good for 36 hours. Okay. It's got matches. It's got disposable hand warmers, 12 of them. Waterproof matches, folding camp stove. I don't know what camp heat is, but anyways. Instafire, which is good. Shelter. It's got 4 emergency bags, which are like those sleeping bag things. Hand crank radio, flashlight. Acrylic mirror, which is good for signaling like aircraft. First aid kit, survival. Now, this kit is generally going to be way, way, way more basic stuff than the one at than the deluxe one at the Red Cross or whatever. But like there's, this is the city of, hold on. But like, what I'd like to do is, okay, there was an ad. Yeah, ads are every 30 minutes, absolutely. What I'd like to do is for us to pick a 72-hour kit, like a packaged one, and kind of build our own, right? Like at the yeah, I'm at the ready.gov kit here, and it's kind of the same as the American Red Cross one, right? Right, you got your water, 1 gallon per person per day, food, battery power, hand crank, extra batteries, blah blah blah. It's like the exact same thing. Local maps, additional supplies, right? Contact lens solution, actually. Cash or traveler's checks. That just goes to show you how long this information's been sitting around. Who the hell uses traveler's checks now? But yeah, eating supplies, paper and pencil, very important. Yeah, I was gonna say you should have a notebook with a pencil or a pen or something. But I don't know. Does that sound good to you guys? If we like pick a kit and then build our own take on it. I had like 72hour.ca or whatever it was called. Let me see if I can find it. 72hours.ca. I just want to show you this because this is one of the. I kind of feel that I'm of two minds of a lot of the shift hits the fan oriented companies that like some of them are obviously trying to be very helpful and have supplies out there for if anything happens, but some of them are just merchants of dread, right? And that's the same impulse that has companies repurposing missile silos into bunkers. It's like these dread merchants are just making bank off of people's fear. But anyways, they're not all that. And so this 72hours.ca, and there's a million of these companies, right? There's a bunch of them in the States and the prices are better down there, but whatever. Emergency kits and supplies. So, and by the way, automobile emergency kits are a whole different thing. That, like, yeah, I figured, like, what if we come up with like a one person kind of basic kit? As soon as I see the word tactical, I'm like, nope, nope, because the last thing I want. Okay, if you have to bug out, the last thing you want is anyone to look at you and see anything tactical, because then anyone who's interested in getting someone else's gear will likely target you and take you down. You can't, you can't have your head on a swivel the whole damn time that you're around. At some point, you got to sleep, and then they'll just take you out. So, like, to me, for the same reason, this, like, 72 hour, this bright red 72-hour bag, nope, that I would not necessarily keep. I would just have like a Fjallraven bag, or like the school bag looking one, or just a simple school bag or something like that. But these come with bags. Now, these are all, say, $55, blah blah blah. I don't know if that's just marketing or if that's actually on sale right now. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me just go back to. Okay, it's their summer sale. Okay, so no, that's on top of. See, they're just being sneaky. So, okay. Hold on a second. I'm just sort of taking a look. Russell says, bought a 12 case of MREs for $129.95 in 2015. Now on the same site, they're $269. Yeah. Scott would use a camo duffel bag. I would use a duffel bag. I would not make it camo, but a duffel bag would be good, because that might be somebody's hockey bag for all they know, right? But yeah, so that's a good that's a good option. So here, this is a 72. Let's just see what's in this kit. This kit's in stock, unlike the one at the Red Cross. Tactile black or deluxe red. It's like, interestingly, come on, load. Oh no. Okay, so we'll do it for one person just to make it simple, right? What does it come with? So 3,600 calories emergency food ration. That's just gonna be like little bars. Emergency sleeping bag, 3 emergency tube tent, 1 roll of duct tape, 72 hours deluxe backpack. That's probably not. It looks like a cheap ass bag, but anyways, a 3-hour, a 3-wick, 36-hour emergency candle. Oh no, yeah, a hooded rain poncho, aluminum alloy emergency whistle, waterproof matches, tissue pack, 125-liter emergency water ration, 125 milliliter emergency water ration. That'll get you through a short walk. Then a radio, utility cord, dust masks, multi-function army knife with 7 tools. It's the same one as in the Red Cross bag. 108-piece first aid kit, leather palm work gloves, Aquatabs water purification. You know what? Just let me check something here. Okay, so the The first aid, the Red Cross one does not come with the little tube tent. So okay, so I'm gonna put a oh my lad, we're already at 11 past 10. Snap. Which one are we gonna to very quickly do? Should we? Because what I'd like to do is try to replicate one of these kits and see if, like, just by buying everything off of Amazon or whatever, see if it actually comes out to a lot more money, kind of thing, or not. Oh, and of course, I was looking at the Red Cross bag and not sharing the screen again, of course. Emergency water miler shelters are $7 at Dollarama. Yeah, but they don't have supply all the time, right? That's the thing. Like, I once bought like 4 spools of like $1 bank line, but then I never saw it again. All right. Did I ask my okay? Neck and neck right now. What I was gonna do, my original plan was to buy one of the kits for this live stream and like show it off and say, okay, is this worth $200? Think we could have done better by just buying everything off of Amazon or off of going to mech.ca or REI or something. I mean, I want to, I would like to use a site that everyone can get to build the kit, right? Like, that's why I'm saying Amazon.ca, because they've got everything, some of which is overpriced, some of which is not. Because build your own is a legit philosophy, for sure. But I would build my own to customize what's in it, rather than as a money saving thing. Hold on a second. Yeah. So I'm just. Scott says, I have an army surplus store near me. I should look into something. Yeah, you should. I have an army surplus store downtown, but it's not like the prices aren't great. And it's a lot of it is like, here's a row of Soviet Navy uniforms. Okay, except I don't have a theater company. I'm not putting on a production of The Hunt for Red October. I'm looking for tools and blankets and stuff. I bought my my Canadian Forces blanket there, though. Are you guys serious? Is this going to come down to 50-50 the whole way? Canadian says you can tweak your own setup, which is to me the power of building your own, right? It's like I want this kind of first aid kit rather than whatever is the off-the-shelf one that they drop in. I want an actual Swiss Army knife instead of the no-name brand multi-tool they're absolutely going to put in kind of thing, you know? But and here's the thing. I'm going to end the poll. It's 22:16. I will end the poll at 22:20. Okay. If you approach something like this from a money saving point of view, then the question that I have for you is, what's an hour of your time worth to you? Because if you're just trading off if you're just trading off money for time, how many hours can you spend before you start to realize that you're still spending? It's just in terms of your hours, which are valued at X amount, right? I have no idea what my hourly what my worth per hour is. But like when I was working in a cafe, an hour of my time was worth $12, right? If I'm if I'm working a gig, then an hour of my time is what? I don't know. Depends on the gig. If I'm sitting at a desk at my day job, an hour of my time is, I don't know, 60. I'm not sure. But like, if you spend $220 at the Red Cross on their deluxe one person kit, I'm just pulling stuff out of the ether. I have no idea if that's what it costs. But all you have to do is go cha-ching, and you can build that kit for 180. But you spend like 2 weeks like looking, okay, I've got these things at Amazon, and that was at Dollarama, so I don't know if it's going to work, but it looks okay. And I bought this multi-tool from Mountain Equipment Co-op. I got my Mylar blanket from here and blah, blah, blah. And it took you 2 weeks to put that kit together. Did you save anything? Did you save anything? What's your time worth to you? Which is why, like, to me, I would not approach building my own kit from a money saving perspective, because I'm not sure. I can't go to the mats to defend this philosophy, but I kind of feel it'd be a wash, or just buying the pre-made kit is going to be cheaper. But I like to make sure I've got good stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like to make sure that the multi-tool is not one that is going to fail me. And you can't always be sure that when you buy a kit. And you think, hey, I bought this from the Red Cross. Come on, man. Okay. But everyone putting kits together from a corporate perspective is probably trying to put them together at the lowest possible price so that they can get them out there at the lowest possible price and undercut someone else. Hold on. Country Boy says my hours are worth $50 each. So how long? Let's look at this one person kit that's on the screen right now, because I forgot to stop it from being on the screen. Where is that one? So this one person kit is $189.99. You save 20%. That's probably no, right? So if that's $189.99, how much cheaper does your sourced kit have to be to make it worth an evening of surfing on the web and sourcing things and buying this stuff from Amazon, or buying everything from Amazon, but you still have to do your research. Right? And Canadian is saying, I'm sure many people here have 80% what they'd require to create one and pick up some odds and ends. Yeah, maybe. But the thing about your emergency kit is that you want to make sure that you've got everything in ready to go condition and in one place in case you need to grab it and go, right? So you may have 80% of what you need, but you need to have that 80% of stuff twice. Once for your kit and once for in your bathroom and your shed and all that stuff. You need everything to be. The idea behind a kit is one package. I'm not searching for everything. Everything's in one package. But one thing I do want to say, man, it's 22. Okay, so I'm gonna end the poll. 73% of you said to use this kit. Okay. And Creative Redundancy says, well, you might source out better quality. And I absolutely would. I would make sure that the multi-tool is a kick-ass Swiss Army knife. So right there, I'm losing money, right? Big Green Moose says, I live 3 kilometers downwind from a nuclear plant, so we get the KI pills mailed to us by the government. I keep 3 rolls of duct tape to seal up windows, doors if ever there's a minor disaster. Yep, that makes sense. Country Boy is saying, seeing as I'm a contractor, my truck is full of survival gear. I don't even realize it's there until I clean out the truck and think I could survive for a week with what's in here. Yeah, but again, it needs to be sort of, So let's quickly put one of these together, okay? Off of Amazon, I guess. So you need one thing I'm going to suggest is, instead of these stupid little food rations, something like a more. Wait, hold on. Oh, David Evans is out. All right. Hold on. All right. See you later, David. Bigger Miss, bless you. Thank you. Russell would not live downwind from a nuclear power plant. There are maps online of where the death flows if there's an incident. Yeah, but something like a Mora. Yeah, good choice. So let's see if Amazon.ca 3,600 calorie food ration. Yeah, there's the Datrex, but what I'm looking for something that's not like a 4-pack of 18 bars. I'm looking for something that okay, hold on. Let me share the screen. Okay, so I think we're going to be bouncing back and forth a lot. So in this, hold on. Where is it? Here. In this, we have 3,600 calories emergency food ration. It's a bar. Yeah, like it's a little pack of bars, okay? So if we go to Amazon.ca, oh, it won't let me share 2 screens at once. All right, see you later, Serge. Well, I don't know. Do you guys think that we should spend another live stream completely putting a kit together? Because we're at 10:30 almost. So I don't know. What do you think? Should we just keep tonight's discussion to like generalities and then actually do the work of doing a comparison kit next week? What do you guys think? Because we might have to rush it if we do it like this. If we do it tonight. Let me know what you think. High energy bar. And like, would you really want the bars, or would you rather, fill your boots by putting, like, by getting one of those mountain house kits, right? Like a bucket, because if you're putting your own kit together, you can spend a little on the stuff you really want, right? Do you want to eat little bars for 3 days straight, or would you rather have dehydrated meals that you can heat up? That will take more water though, right? So then you have to balance off, okay, so maybe we need more than 2 liters of water per person or 1 gallon of water per person per day, kind of thing. Yeah, people are saying that we should probably just consider it, continue it next week. So let's plan to build the kit next week, and we'll just keep talking about like the generalities. Like, would you guys? Yeah, what Scott is saying here is that you need variety. So hold on, I'm gonna. You know what? Let's ask a bunch of questions, and make our decisions for the next one based on those. Oh my god, my sinuses are just. Okay, all these questions are when you're building a kit. Okay, 3 days of food bars or mountain house-esque meals. I'll roll each of these polls for 5 minutes, okay? Big Room is detecting the sneezing and the sinus issues here. Okay, or creative redundancy is saying other stuff. The reason why I wasn't thinking of like trail mix or jerky or peanut butter is because the idea behind your emergency preparedness bag is that the stuff is good for 5 years, right? You only have to replace it every 5 years. I feel that a jar of peanut butter, I might not get away with that. Trail mix, I feel like I wouldn't get away with. But you could dehydrate your own meals, right? You could make and dehydrate 3 days worth of meals for 4 people for a whole lot less money than I wish I'd made that one of the poll questions, actually. Yeah, what Russell is saying is you've got to renew stuff. You got to take a look at your bag and renew some stuff a lot. Brother Love says that there's major psychological factor to the food choice. Absolutely. Hold on. BYOB, build your own bag. Food. I'm going to take notes so that we can, hit the ground running next week with, okay, we've elected for this. For the food, here are the options we have on freeze dry, just lasts longer. Truth. Yeah. Has that been up? No, that's 2 minutes ago. Okay. Um, but like the space and the grab and go element is what keeps me from saying, canned goods. Look, I know people who have a cache of canned food, right? Who have like supplies for 3 days in their attic of dried pasta, canned goods, blah blah blah, which is legit because as I said, for many instances, staying in, hunkering in is the way to go. But the conceit that we're dealing with here is a grab and go bag. Either no, let's not overthink it. It's a bag, or a bag and a bucket, or something that is at least relatively easily portable, just in case, right? Scott, you get one of those crank radios. Yeah, I figure that is just a given. Um, there's one in the kit that you purchase, right? There's one. No, never mind. Just let me take a look. Yeah, the kit that you purchase has one. Let me just change screens here. Man, I wish I could share 2 screens at once. Like stuff in this kit that we can buy ourselves. That stuff in this kit that we might make better choices with our, your rations, your water setup, right? Is it better to just have tablets, or is it better to have 12 little emergency water ration envelopes? Stuff like your multifunction army knife with 7 tools. Now, the fact that exact multi-tool has shown up in several of the kits that I looked at tells me it's a rock bottom price tool. It looks like something you'd buy at Lee Valley from their bargain bin. But you got Aquatabs water purification and packs of water, which I actually like because it opens up your options massively. A flashlight that you shake. Spare food bag that you rotate. It says creative redundancy. Okay, that was 5 minutes ago. So 67% of you said a mountain house bucket of fun or related. I'm just going to take note of that. Just for the sake of the experiment, we're dealing with a 1-person 72-hour kit, okay? 8 is what is 8 here? That's an aluminum alloy emergency whistle. Sure. Hooded poncho, yeah. First aid kit. Number 16 is a first aid kit. Let's see if it says what's in that first aid kit. 108 piece. Okay, so a lot of these have the exact same first aid kit. I don't know what the 108 pieces are. Oh yeah, it's got Molly built in. Sweet. I'm gonna put my Garberg on that. Sleeping bag or blanket carrying straps. Actually, this bag looks kind of cheap, but it's got some nice features. So there's your radio, NOAA and AM/FM weather band frequencies. Is NOAA the same as shortwave? Do you guys know? And is this a crank? Is this a crank radio? Solar radio? 72 hours. So I guess it's just got a battery in it. Like a 72-hour battery of crumbs. That means you have to keep powering it up. Because I don't see anything about crank. I'm going to look up the Crusader one. Unless somebody here knows anything about it. Yeah, I think Noah is weather radio. Yeah. Shawnee says to just write mirror down. A mirror is important. I haven't written it down yet. Because there's nothing to say that we can't really add stuff to this kit, but I want to price grade against this kit with the same stuff. Peanut truck, you got the wife and you're headed home. Nice. 13 is a soft nylon. Okay, nylon utility cord. For nylon utility cord, is paracord better or equal to that? Like I like having paracord around because it takes up small amounts of room, and it's I buy actual military grade paracord, so it's 550, and I know it's 550. I didn't buy it at the dollar store. Tube tent. I mean, easy to find something. Paracord is more versatile. Yeah, I agree. I wasn't sure if there's any reason to opt for the nylon cord over paracord. I think that it's just straight up nylon cord because it's more affordable, to be straight with you. But paracord you can use as is. You can take out the inner strands for certain things. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with it. There is a flashlight. It's part of the radio. Like it's an emergency radio. Oh, my sinuses are going nuts. Emergency radio flashlight is not a good flashlight. I agree. I had one of those emergency radio lights. Hold on a second. I'm just going to write recreating 72hour.ca bag. I'll write down like extras. Scott says the kit is more for leaving your house. I don't think I would leave my house unless I absolutely had to. Yeah. The idea of a 72-hour kit is that it's easy to have all your stuff in one spot. If you get flooded out and you're essentially living on your roof, as we saw in the news during, was it Katrina? Then it's good to have a bag that you could just grab and haul with you upstairs. Give me a second here, people. Grace asks, but if this is a 72 hours bag, not for a long bug out, so why do you need 550 cord? Why do you not need, what do you need to support that's 550 pounds? Why not bank line instead? I just don't like the way bank line feels. It's much thinner. It's generally not as strong. and it's kind of oiled or waxed. So I feel that like power bankline always leaves me feeling kind of greasy. So with like water and hygiene being at a premium, I myself would not be. I'll write it down and I'll see. We can see which is the better. The reason I would go for paracord is just because you don't know what you might have to haul. You may need to use the cordage to lift something or to get some, to build a simple machine for leverage or something. You know. Russell sees a 2-pack of headlamps. Yeah, I've got like 3 or 4 spools of bank line. Creative redundancy says like a floodlight might need more strength. Yeah, you might. I mean, a floodlight is excellent if you're trying to get something done, after dark, for sure. Let me just bring this back up to sort of the list of the stuff. Like a hooded poncho. I mean, you can buy that stuff at Canadian Tire or whatever's the American equivalent. Is that like Target or something? It's going to be Woods brand or Colin's or something like that. Basic stuff. Affordable. Been used forever. That first aid kit, I would like to know what's in it. Because what I see here is the areas that I would spend would be the first aid kit. Especially because it's a 108 piece, but they don't tell me what's in it. I'm like, oh, really? The multi-tool and the rations. Those are the 3 areas, like right off the bat, that I would spend on. Russell says it's a lot lighter than paracord. Is there another benefit aside from being nylon? Because it's tarred or oiled. I think it's tarred. I feel that if the shift hits the fan on a really hot day, the bank line is going to be an issue in terms of it getting tar everywhere. It's not as supple as paracord for sure, but the thing is, it's still a useful cable. It's still a useful cord for sure. If I'm trying to tie something where I don't want my knot to be permanent, I don't want to be using bank line probably. I forgot to end my poll. Sorry. Creative redundancy says that tarred bank line degrades differently and holds knots differently. Yes. Yeah. And it's not going to have the, like what Russell's talking about here. It's not going to have that level of utility, right? The fact that you can use the inside strands for stuff, you can use the empty sheath for stuff. You can do a knot and untie it, and it's not going to bind up the way like a tarred bank line will. But a spool, like not a spool, but like a hank of bank line that's the same length as a hank of paracord will take up less room, for sure. Country Boy is being a little bit of a brat, but he's funny. But he does sort of the biggest factor maybe in favor of Bankline is just this. It really does hold on to itself. It doesn't slip, you know. But grace is also true here. We're not talking about a lot of degradation in 72 hours, you know, unless like it's on fire. Oh, is that not the same as saying the Scottish play, the name of the Scottish play in a theater? Yeah, either one is good to have. I think, you know, that it comes down to personal preference, but I wrote them both down. You know, we can discuss. We can discuss next week. Grace says she loves her Bankline. It's got all kinds of uses. You know, I use Bankline more often than I use paracord, but when I'm away from the house and like I'm doing bushcrafty stuff, I bring paracord instead of Bankline. Because Bankline is tarred, it might make a better tinder though. Like in a shift hits the fan situation. I don't mean like a simple bushcrafting trip. Love my paracord. Grace, next time we go parachuting and your chute uses Bankline, we'll talk about it on the way down. That is a bratty comment. I'm just taking a look. Things that are missing from the kit that I'm showing, okay, from this deluxe kit is, I absolutely agree that it's missing a mirror. It's missing a tick key, like a tick remover for sure. I mean, which is and is not important, right? Because in most 72-hour situations, you're not really running for the hills. You're not, you know, heading out into the woods. You know, I'm gonna hunt for my food. That 72 hours is not that. So maybe like something like a tick key is not important. Creative redundancy says socks. Oops. Socks. Susie Q. Hi, Susie. Says that tent looks like it would rip under raindrops. Yeah, it's a real basic kind of emergency tent. It's not meant to last, right? Once the emergency is past, you get rid of it. Grace says, if I bug out, I don't think it would be by way of parachute. Fair enough. Yeah, creative redundancy is right. You can make a tube tent from thick garbage bags for sure. Hey, howdy. Just a quick hi. Can't stay. This is one of my favorite subjects, so I'll definitely catch the time shifted pea soup Boy Scouts. Before you go, Jim, we're gonna actually work more on putting together a conceptual kit next week because we ran out of time. In fact, I will rename this. Let's build a 72-hour bag part 1. Good old tea. Tea's a good drink. Yeah, I'm disappointed with that beer. I feel it was a little flatter than it should have been. Russell is putting a link to something he would use instead of that tent. I'm just copying the link. And I'm going to drop it into another tab so I can take a look at it. That's a meatballs and marinara sauce MRE meal. And it cannot be shipped to my delivery location. Oh, because you're using Amazon.com. So you're gonna put an MRE in your kit over a tube tent? I mean, if I'm gonna go, I may as well go with my belly full. No, but seriously, what were you going to link to? I figured so. Okay, let's take a look at this. Open link in a new tab. Oh yeah, absolutely. Hold on. I'm going to share that screen. Boom. This must be so boring for people who aren't into this kind of thing. I mean, I'm not massively into this kind of thing either, but wait a minute. Amazon.ca. Tom Shoe. I'll just share it like this. You got 2 of these, you said? Like this brand? You know, it's funny because I'm kind of tactical averse, but I think I would buy the camo anyway in this case. If the white or gray just looks way too like 1976 sci-fi. Scott says, it's interesting because I never really think about this. Me neither. This entire thing is just something, it pops into my head every now and again. Like, I once built a car emergency kit for my wife that got left outside while she was cleaning out the car at one point and got completely soaked. So I keep meaning to like put another kit together because, you know, I think it's romantic to be all about your partner's safety. But like, it's hard work to really source out a good kit. You know, the reason you can just buy a pre-made kit is because of the ease of purchase, the painless purchasing experience. Because you're not using the multi-tool every day for 20 years, they can get away with a slightly lower quality multi-tool. The problem is that multi-tool has to be good enough that it's not going to fail on you. You know? Ooh, they got it in orange. I do love me some orange, but I like orange as an accent color rather than like the whole thing being orange. I would feel really obvious. Just to go down the picks for the shelter pick. Oh, it is big. Yeah, look at that. Oh, it's huge. I'm not going to share that. Poncho tarp. Yeah, like a pumpkin. Yeah, exactly. Anyway. Ooh, there's only 5 minutes left. Jim says, I think Corporal's Corner uses the poncho tent a lot. I think you're right as well. Good night, Jim. Scott says, I could live in that. It's bigger than my apartment. The orange is Hunter Orange, which has its uses. Yeah, I like that color. I love a nice blaze orange. Very useful for, you know, National Guard, or well, that's the American, or, you know, Army Reserve. Find me, I need your help. Great. If you're trying to be less obvious because there are people out and about stealing other people's supplies, that's when the orange would not do me any favors. That's when the camo might be better. I mean, you know, if I'm hiding in the corner of a blasted out store, then no, the camo's not going to do me any better than an orange would, but then I wouldn't be wearing one of those. Yeah, exactly. Creative. If you're on a roof, Blaze Orange might help. Yeah, because the the helicopters, whatever, will be able to find you for sure. In Vancouver, that poncho tar could be rented for $1,200 a month. So legit. The pricing is just so out of whack. So crazy. Yeah, I should buy a box of MREs or IMPs. And do an episode on some of them. Someday. I have other ideas to do first. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. For next week, we'll come in, and after the initial stuff, we'll get right into building a kit and seeing how much more you spend to get the kit that you really want versus buying a pre-made thing with some questionable. Well, the thing is, I don't know if the stuff in it is questionable, and is it because to me, I will buy a pre-made first aid kit and then add stuff in. This might be sort of the same thing. That might be like what your price performance. That might be where your price performance ratio really, sorry, really hits its pinnacle, right? We'll see. We shall see what we shall see. So we're 2 minutes to the end. Anyone want to throw out some last minute ideas of what should be included as extras for their kit? What I've got here is like a mirror, a flashlight, or a headlamp. But that's it. I kind of feel like, I mean, I would prescription drugs for sure. Those are extras, and those are like you can't really do a price comparison. But that's was there a water bottle? No. What there was is some tablets. I think. Hold on. There's some tablets and some emergency water ration little sachets. All right. Good night, Chris and Jennifer. Have a good sleep. Those water packs remind me of Fallout. Sure, absolutely. But maybe maybe a metal water bottle, like an empty, like a clean canteen or something. You need a container just in case you need to boil some water, right? I mean, it's great to have water tablets. It's great to have little sachets of water, but like if sorry guys, if you buy one of those buckets of Mountain House meals, like the 72-hour kit, does that come with something to cook them in? Well, no, because you cook them in the bag, but you need something to boil your water in, right? I'm just taking note of that. Yeah, a single-walled water bottle. Creative redundancy says it's more robust. A metal one for a tad more weight. Sure. Country Boy's always got several empty beer cans in the box of the truck to boil water in. Fair enough. Okay, we're at 11 o'clock. Tell you what, if anyone comes up with any ideas, drop me drop a comment in the in the comments or whatever below, or contact me over any of the social media and say, hey, we need to add this in. Between now and then, I will see you. So everyone, no, I totally blew that. It's because I'm getting really tired here, people. I'm gonna go to bed. Between now and next month, everybody, you heard nothing. Between now and next week, everybody, please stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy, and be kind to one another.